Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour. I am Steve, along with the urban sensation C Red, the lovely knockout Rachel, the real deal Rion Skills. Joining us tonight on this show for the first time, our new podcast mate, PX, who will help me with some technical things later on. Welcome, Pat.
So great to be joining you and just thank you guys for the opportunity. Look up to all of you, and just to be able to join you all on the Power Hour is such an honor.
We're all about Ellis Island here. Give me your poor, you're tired, you're broken down wrestling people.
I'm definitely not a role model, so be careful.
And for those of you living under a rock, Sunday night at the Concord Music Hall, once again, the Super Wrestlers struck back, and boy, did they strike back with a vengeance. And joining us tonight is the certifiable beautiful genius known as Billy of the Whack. It's Billy Whack. Hello.
How are you all doing? Look at these wonderful t-shirts. Rachel, I know you've got one on also. And C-Red's too cool to wear.
I don't, but if someone would like to gift me one, I would not say no.
Hey, on December 10th, it's Christmas time. You just never know.
Yeah.
That's right.
So we're going to talk about the Super Wrestlers Strike Back, which happened this past Sunday night. Billy, thanks for coming back. This is your third appearance on the show. So like Marche Rocket, you are now in contention for a jacket. So we'll see what we can do.
Really? Who's your most trafficked guest on here? Who's the guy?
Marche Rocket has done this show over the past 3 years, 12 times.
Ooh, that's tough. All right. But I mean, that's a Marche.
The trifecta hasn't been done by many, so you've moved up into rarefied air. And before the night is over, we're going to book you for December because we just can't get enough super wrestlers. And I think I told you this Sunday night. The most amazing thing, not the wrestling notwithstanding, was when you came out at the end after all the pomp and circumstance was done, after the band played out Shogun or just Shogun. After they played the Shogun out, you said, come back here December 10th. And in unison, 200 plus people or 300 plus people, however many packed that place, everybody brought their phone up and was doing this. So I have to believe in unification status, people are putting down.
I think they were all calling the police in unison. They're like, look, this is our chance. We're not waiting until December to get these guys. Let's get them tonight. Yeah, I mean, that's great. Like, I love hearing that. That's like some goosebump stuff. That means everybody was happy and everybody was putting it in their phone. Good Lord, you can't ask for anything.
No, you cannot. And as wrestling fans, we could not ask for anything more. But before we get started on recalling what we saw, just because it happened Sunday night, and we're going to continue it because we support the Super Wrestlers. This show tonight, even though not officially funded, is being brought to you by Pat's Blue Ribbon.
It is. As soon as I finish this coffee, I'm switching to a cool,
Steve, if you had told me you were going to do this, I would have brought my entire case up here with me and put myself on camera long enough to show it to you.
Go. So this opportunity, the product placement for the Pabst Blue Ribbon, especially in that video package that started the show, was absolutely hilarious.
Yes.
Look, we got the sponsor, and I was very excited to get the sponsor. And I've seen other wrestling companies get a sponsor, even PBR, and it always seems like it's like, here's some T-shirts, or here's like a half off PBR, whatever's going on at the bar. But I'm like, are you kidding me? This is like a free character you've just handed us. Like it'll be the PBR bot or the PBR pirate or you know what I mean? It's like a punchline for us. So we're gonna put PBR and everything and find a working it different ways in there until Schlitz offers us more money. Damn it! So I don't.
I have a feeling. Yeah, I mean, like I said, anytime you get a sponsor, it's wonderful. And every time we went up to the bar, and we bought Pabst Blue Ribbon, we said, I don't usually drink this, but because it's the official beer of the Super Wrestlers, we're making an exception tonight.
Yeah, our goal is to make them very happy with, geez, we picked these guys. Oh my God, they're going to go above and beyond. And it's like I said to the show, I've been being sponsored by PBR for years, even before the Super Wrestlers. So
yes,
I don't know. Could we forward them the photo of me double fisting PBRs when I Jello wrestled and see if they'll sponsor me?
Oh, I remember that. That actually happened.
Yeah.
So the first show, Night of the Super Wrestlers back in April, it took us on a journey that we could never have expected or forecasted. And we were wondering how you would top it or what you would do. And I'm going right after the thing that I thought took Super Wrestlers from a very cool wrestling experience, an old school 80s character-driven wrestling experience, and shot it past anything I have ever seen before. It was Ryor and Rydor.
Yeah, I mean, let's throw some exposition into our pro wrestling, and
it was like dinner theater is what it was like. It was, the fact that they basically reenacted Thor Ragnarok for us with wrestling as the backdrop.
I never saw it. I went Marvel movies. I don't know about that.
At one point, we got a pretty good Kevin Feige chant going. Justin,
I don't know. Sorry to cut you off, Steve, but I don't know if we can get this out of you. But will we be exploring this subplot further?
Oh my God! I mean, I think what we're going to discover is this is the reason why we're all here. Maybe this Ryor thing is like, I don't know, but. Yes, I mean, we'll definitely be revisiting. There are more to come. Definitely more to come. Yeah.
I was talking to some of the performers after the show was over. And one of the things that also caught my eye as the show went on was how the characters took giant leaps as far as being presented just so very viscerally. In the first show, Destructo, very menacing, him and Madam Shatter were certainly a thing. But when they came out and basically grabbed everybody's attention, I thought Destructo's character became something else, something bigger, something better than it was the first time around. Same thing with Business Puppy. Business Puppy was great, but on this show, he was electrifying. And I can say that, I mean, even Ryor, just his whole dialect and the entire backstory of Crosternia, it's like everybody took what they had done at night 1 and turned it up to 10 night 2. Did you get that feeling as well?
Yes. And it also ties into my whole Star Wars, like the first one's Star Wars, this one's Empire. And everyone's like, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? And I always say Star Wars because it's your first look at this. And everyone else is like, well, Empire. And they like Empire because it moves faster and this and that. And I'm like, well, it moves faster and it does all these things because you already know the characters and you know the storylines and kind of what's sort of happening. We hit the ground running with this one. Everybody knew the characters. We didn't have to introduce, this is who he is and where he's from. We could just continue with what we started, and I think it gave us a little more room. And by the next one, we'll be even more advanced, especially with some of the videos that we're going to have in between this and December 10th, Sunday, December 10th.
And the new characters came in seamlessly. And that is something I think Star Wars was very effective with as well. The new characters we met in The Empire Strikes Back just kind of came in. I mean, the Porch Pirate, the ovation he got, the reception he got, and I still have my Porch Pirate merchandise that
cool.
got in one of the boxes. This is the glowing Porch Pirate yo-yo, which I will be putting up on eBay. No, I won't be. Keeping this forever.
Get him to sign it.
The things that were in those boxes were hilarious. There was one thing in a box that USA Hole opened that gave us one of the most impressive chants of the evening. How do you feel about being the guy or being the promotion that had a blue dildo as a character?
I mean, we're talking about it a few days later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, something for everybody at the Super Wrestlers. Maybe you caught it. Maybe it flew towards you. I don't know. Maybe. What they told me, I didn't see it. Everybody was laughing about it. They're like, it got kicked and it also stuck somewhere. And then it just started I didn't see it. I just heard about it. I didn't.
It was pretty impressive, the travels of the blue dildo.
The blue dildo.
In fact, everybody kept saying it is a blue dildo in USA hole. It just took us on a magical journey of sight and sound.
It could get weird there, and the weirdest thing that you could be saying later is like something that actually is making sense in front of you and happening. Like, it's one of those, you have to be there for it. Sunday, December 10th, be there for it.
And everybody here, has been a fan of your work right along.
Thanks,
and
everybody.
Certainly did your legacy justice by suddenly, as our good friend, the pubic moose.
I have a stray.
We all have pubic hairs from pubic moose.
So do I. I found some in the candy dish. The after party was here, and somebody got me. So
got you as the pubic.
Whoever you are, the jelly bean dish said, yeah.
Oh, that's unsavory. But anyway, it was the return of the hot potato championship, and when that old 1960s Samsonite inspired suitcase opened up, and the refurbished hot potato championship came out complete with the Me So Horny single.
Yeah.
And all of the rest of the splendor, the miniature Rubik's cubes, a rubber chicken of sorts. It was a tribute to an amazing time, and the way it was presented was absolutely flawless. So well done, sir.
Thank you. The Me So Horny cassette single actually came off of this wall here. There's like I was looking, I'm like, I gotta find like what's the crappiest, because I have this, took it off the wall, like it's going on the belt. The squeaky, there's gonna be a video, like anatomy of the hot potato title, so stay tuned for it. But the squeaky chicken thing, honestly, it's a dog toy, and Charlie was not interested. So on you go. And it makes like the crazy, just long drawn out like noise. Holy cow. So I think maybe that's why he didn't like it. Like, and that's why I wanted out of the house also. So there's that. And then there's like a Rob Liefeld Youngblood issue 1. Like, is there a shittier comic book in history? Really? You can Google it too. Like, what's the worst Rob Liefeld's Image Comics, Youngblood #1. Every main character has 96 front teeth and 78 pouches. Like, but anyway, I digress. So there's that. And it was like 2005, 6, something or other, Burger King teamed up with Xbox for some reason, and they had these crappy video games. You could buy them at Burger King for like $2.99 if they trapped you. If you would go into Burger King and you could buy an Xbox game, which was probably tastier and more healthy than the food. But there was this game called Big Bumpin', and it's a ridiculous. We played it. It's ridiculous. It's got the King's face on it. Wham! On you go on the hot potato belt. Of course, a WWE air freshener is on there, and
that certainly got quite a pop that evening, in the best possible ways. So yeah, the hot, and there's a nice photo here of the hot potato title that Rian has found. The big smiley face in the middle, and Pubic Moose's reaction, and then being played out to Me So Horny, just really cemented a brand new legacy for this much heralded title.
Yeah, it's amazing because it was, Me So Horny was a goof, like this crappy song, but everything sounds really good on those Concord speakers. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of a jam right now. But, still, like, if you listen to the song, like, what a piece of shit, just so cliched, just like racist, like, Jesus Christ, it's just a terrible. But there it is. That's your official hot potato song.
And Pubic Moose is currently the champion. And now, aside from the prize, there is a defendable belt that you have to lose. If you lose, you win. So it's a crazy, splendid situation, and nobody wants it, but everybody wants it, which is surreal as far as I'm concerned.
You have a belt for the worst guy, and why not? And you can't make it a cool thing. It's got to be like a piece of crap. So an embarrassing, humiliating piece of crap.
And his reaction to it was spectacular. So that was a high point of the show, I thought. Concord Music Hall. has to love what you're doing, because that is one of the coolest places I've ever seen. And the crowd is loud as any wrestling crowd I've ever seen. The chants happen after every little thing. And it just seems like it's a match made in heaven. How do you feel about that?
Yes, it doesn't exist without the Concord Music Hall. And we're building an atmosphere there, I think. And I think the people are feeling it and they know. And like you said, they'll start chants for things right away. And that's how you know it's working. That's how you know stuff's going the right way.
And the spacing and the timing is genius. 2 matches break, 2 matches break, 2 matches good night. It's enough wrestling to keep everybody entertained, go to the bathroom, get a beverage, entertained again, go to the bathroom, get a beverage, commiserate, and then over. It just flows so well. You never feel bored while you're at the Concord Music Hall, because not only are you enjoying the wrestling, but it's all timed out very well. The thing I hate most about most wrestling shows is it seems like intermission goes on entirely too long. These are very short bursts of rest and commiseration, and you just go right back into it. So very well done on the spacing and staging of the event, because it flows very nicely.
Thank you. Well, we were really happy when the first one ended at like 9:15 or whatever, and I was concerned like how we were with time. Were we going too fast and stuff like that? And it just shook out great, and everyone liked the length of the time. And I knew we're not doing a tournament this time. We're having less matches. How do we space it? Let's get people time to go to the bar, go to the bathroom. We don't want to miss anything, oh, I missed that part because I was just going to do a basic human function or something over here. Like, so, here we are, like these designated times, and why not? If that works for people, then we'll keep doing it.
So let's talk a little bit about the entity behind everything that took away Shogun's powers and then at the nick of time returned his powers so good could win even in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, this is the guy we were talking about. He is the mysterious guy that that actually signs the checks. Much again to mine and CM Venom, he's just hanging back there. I'm doing stuff out there. He's doing what I'm doing back there. He's corralling the troops. He's keeping the guys separate. The guys that need to be separated, separate. So what you don't see him, but he's down there. He's making sure Nexus is plugged and he's doing all that. But this Catalyst Tambor guy has decided now that he wants to get, I guess, more involved in the goings on. It was not announced to us. I didn't know. So he's the guy who's got his finger on apparently all the buttons. The give the powers back to Shogun, take them away. I think it might have something to do with the prize. I think the prize is like an antenna for him. I should probably watch out. It's sitting here.
I'm looking at it right behind you.
Shogun's like, keep it away. I don't want to deal with this because Catalyst Tambor will pop out or something like that. But so far, it's just been like an inanimate object here, an ornamental thing. It seems like everybody else seems to get a visit or something out of him. I don't know. He just signs our checks and tells us what email. It's weird. It's weird, especially how we got hooked up with all these wrestlers. Like, there's something going on, and it's got everything to do with Catalyst Tambor.
And one of the most amazing matches was a match versus 2 debuting super wrestlers. And of course, I'm speaking of Danger Mask and Nolan the fucking Wizard. The entrance of Nolan the fucking Wizard was one of the coolest things that happened that night. It was amazing. And then the match was amazing. They're both very interesting characters. Will they return in later versions of Super Wrestlers, or are they?
It is my firm belief both gentlemen will be back with the Super Wrestlers.
And there's a graphic that was put up that I have seen that has many names of many potential Super Wrestlers. And yeah. I kept looking because I am intrigued by this name more than any other, and I can't explain why. Pharaoh-Smith. It's going to be Steve Tyler lookalike and some kind of King Tut headdress. I just have to know more.
Hey, again, these are names that Catalyst Tambor sends to us, and he'll send like these weird email addresses, and we kind of make a decision which name seems safe to click on and see if he's available. And, then we find out how many matches we should have, how many, like the second show, we didn't even know what was going to happen. But then Shogun shows up and he's like, I got to give you this prize bag. You're supposed to have another tournament. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I thought we were done here. Check my email. There's some Catalyst Tambor emails. All right. I guess we're doing another one. That was how we got the date. I got the date, December 10th. Again, I'm the host and I'm the guy that gets to do all these exciting interviews, but it seems like there's this electrified bucket hooded headed guy that is pulling the string. Again, unlike any, like, I get paid. They pay me. The pay comes through. Like, and the shows happen. And it's like you just go there. I'm the ambassador between Concord Music Hall and the Super Wrestlers. It's a weird system, but like I said, the money keeps hitting the bank account. So I will keep doing these. Sure, the guy's weird. Sure, the guy's a hologram that pops out. Sure, he pops up on the screen and he can take guys' powers and stuff. But he pays me. He pays me.
Of all the things that happened over the course of the evening, was there a memorable moment for you that even you couldn't believe?
It was, so Catalyst Tambor comes on.
Right.
And he says something to Destructo like, you're not a major player. And the crowd starts chanting like minor player at Destructo. I thought that was amazing. I was like, the crowd is really paying attention to what's going on.
That is something that I noticed as well, that he was called not a major player, and the crowd picked up on it right away. And it wasn't just a few people. That was all of the crowd chanting minor player, which I thought was very impressive. The crowd almost turns into one entity. Everybody seems like they're dialed in, and the people behind me, the people in front of me, the people to the side of me, everybody just seemed fascinated by what was going on. I saw some people I saw the first time, but I also saw a great many people that I hadn't seen. So it's you're getting the return and you're getting new, and it just seems like this Catalyst Tambor guy may be onto something.
Yeah, right.
I could ask Billy Whack, Billy of the Whack, as Ryor calls you, 6,000 questions, because I literally have a notebook full of questions. But I have many.
I'm just still waiting for C-Red to say hi.
That's where we're going to go next. We're going to go to the urban sensation. He was out of town and couldn't make it to Super Wrestlers this time around. C-Red, do you have any questions for Billy of the Whack?
No.
Right.
Hey, let's be honest. Whoever is controlling the strings, whatever his name shall be, like, everybody seems shocked, and maybe it's me. I'm not. From the first show, like, everybody has their favorite TV show or their favorite trilogy in a movie series. But when you watch that first one, Billy talked about Star Wars for him. Like, Star Wars is what, so you can go through all 18,000 episodes and all of them. But it's the first one that hooked. Dude, from the first show, I sat there next to you and I told you, this shit is hit. It's there was again, it's funny, Billy of the Whack mentioned the time, and getting out at 9:15. And Rion can contest to this, Steve can contest to this. I have been on a rampant entity of shows running freaking past time. Like, that shit irritates the fuck out of me now.
Right.
Why? Because I went to one show Guess what? They started on time at 7. And we were fucking done by 9:15, people. Like, how did that happen? And I asked everybody, dude, they had 8 matches, 2 intermissions, and we were done by 9:15. And I mean,
I chalk it up to just experience at this point. We're just old. And we're like, all right, look, it's gonna go. You get 3 minutes out there, and that's entrances too. So you get all your shit in 3 minutes. But no, I mean we're telling a story, and you know it's like a movie. And then this is where this part is, and this is where this part is, and you're watching the clock and you're timing it, and I don't know. It's you just got to think about the fans, and like you know, younger guys are like, younger promoters even are like, well, see, we got to have 12 matches because we got all these guys, and this guy he helped load the ring, and this guy, there's like politics to like booking shows for guys. Like I don't have that. Thankfully, you know what I mean? I don't even play in that field. So I don't have to make promises to people, and I don't have to make sure everybody gets on the card, and then everybody gets on the card, and everybody has to get 8 to 10, and then the next, you know, it's 4 hours, and people walk away from it, and they're like, fuck, I don't want to go to one of those again, you know? So I don't know. Yeah, I chalk it up to experience. I'm old now, and this is how I want to do. I want to be home by like 10:30.
well, I was probably home by 10:30 that night. But again, like I said, there was no way you couldn't have told me. Like everybody has been raving, and I've read social media what everybody's been saying, and I guess maybe it's me, but I saw the first. So if I fell in love with the first one, that like anybody that knows Billy of the Whack and all of his crew know that they're not one-hit wonders. That shit does not happen. So best believe again, we I'm excited. December, hopefully I'm in town. I hope. We'll see.
You know, being perfectly honest, this Catalyst Tambor, what's the C stand for, C-Red? I didn't see you at the last show. What's going on? Are you Catalyst Tambor?
Oh my God, maybe he's right.
Have you been paying me? Jesus.
If you're paying him, why aren't you paying us?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
That C could also stand for Chaz. Who is Catalyst Tambor?
What is Catalyst? No, that's a different. That's a
Well,
whole, that's a
that's
whole
Why
whole
is
different thing,
Catalyst
right.
Tambor?
Well,
I assumed it was an autonomous bucket, but that's because my vision sucks.
You're talking about Catalyst Tambor, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Catalyst Tambor, the autonomous bucket. Okay,
Yeah.
moving on from that. The only thing I have one criticism of Super Wrestlers. I was sure that someone would be frozen in carbonite, and I did not get any kind of carbonite freezing. Could we get that in return of the Super Wrestlers,
No.
as it has to be called?
No, but what we did get was the familial bond between two people. I am your brother. We got some.
We did. We got the dinner theater. So
we had
that
one of those, and we didn't even know that was coming.
No.
We had no idea. Here comes a guy calling himself Obake. We see this was a Catalyst Tambor thing. Click on this email, recruit this guy. Ryor is looking for an opponent. Well, yeah, Ryor had an open contract. He doesn't really understand how contracts work, but we explained. This just means you go out there and wait for your challenger. Oh, I'm ready. So he went out there, and we were contacted by this guy, Obake, the shapeshifter. Sounds good. Boom, we're gonna put you two guys together. We had no idea. We had no idea what was going on. So again, like we're gonna find out more, but at the time, as of last Sunday, we had no idea what was happening.
It was that whole sequence between Ryor and Rydor was amazing, and the reveal and him being a shapeshifter. The storytelling and the story itself were absolute genius. I was kidding about the carbonite. I assumed if there was carbonite available, Billy Whack would have found some. But I hear it's kind of a hot commodity since it isn't really made.
It is. It is. That's not to say that Concord does not have a carbon freezing pit. Just saying, we didn't see it at this one.
It might come out in later shows, which is fantastic.
I think Nexus sleeps in it or something.
Nexus would have, you got to keep him cool, especially if he's operating off of Windows 95. I had 2 computers overheat with that stuff in it. I had nacho chips, not microchips. Looking back now that you've had a few days to kind of think about it, how satisfied are you that this was like you achieved a bigger spectacle than the first one? I mean, that's what you want. You want the first one to be good. You want the second one to be even better. And you knocked it right out of the fucking park with that. How satisfying is that?
Extremely, extremely sad. No, but I mean, I remember being on here before the first one.
Right.
And I was like shitting my pants. I was like, man, I hope this goes good. I hope this is a brand of wrestling that people would get into. And it did well. And I'm still getting the feedback. So, I mean, how was it? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, that's what I've been saying literally for 48 hours. And so it's up to people to tell me, no, it was good. And you can tell, if they're like, it was a great show, or if they're like, that was a great show, and I'm getting a lot of the latter. People seem to be really happy with it. I'm not going to be like, yeah, it was fucking great. Yeah, I'm coming for you. Fill in the blank promoter, fill in the blank promotion. I'm not. I don't care. But I'm saying, I feel good about it, but I don't want to be a dick about it or anything. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know what I'm doing.
You absolutely could be, though, because it was that good.
Thank you, but not until the third one. After the third one, look the fuck out, man. I'm not. I'm gonna cost to do this show. I'm gonna be calling my.
You're gonna have a rider for the Concord Music Hall, even though you work there.
Terrible. I'm gonna be no. Like I think keep it being happily hungry about it in the direction it's going. We'll keep it. Complacency. That's when you lose. I see promotions that are like month after month, just flipping the same fucking pancake for years. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? So
oh God, I know exactly what you mean. Jesus Christ.
I'm
never heard it put like that.
And gee, man, I guess I don't mean to talk shit, but I'm saying like I feel it seems like a very claustrophobic headspace for other promotions to be in when we're going to strive every show to do something like something crazy because we're fans and we want to be fans of it and we want to be fans of it going forward and
No, you're right, because like when you assume you're the best, you assume you don't have to do anything differently, and that's where promotions go to die.
Right. You just stay
Horrible
hungry.
Deaths.
Stay hungry and you keep running forward. Like stay like there's somebody chomping at your heels. Just keep but again, we're different. So I don't know. It's tough. I just wanted to keep getting better and stay at the level of quality that I guess you guys think it's at, which seems to be good.
I have no skin in the game, so I'm going to keep telling people they're losers for not going. So
and they are. I mean, not UC, right? You were out of state or something like that.
Yeah,
whatever
you have an excuse. And you did go to the first one.
Yeah, you were there yes.
When you opened the show, you hit the nail right.
My second beer.
What? Are you laughing?
My second PBR, and I'm already spilling beer on myself.
That's okay. That's
Been
okay.
there, done that.
Yeah. When you opened the show and you came out and addressed the crowd initially before any of the hijinks began, you said, tonight we're here to suspend disbelief. And I think that's what makes Super Wrestlers.
No, I said this is the one thing that was thrown in my face, or not thrown in my face, but they told me like, people say, you've got to suspend your disbelief. You got to suspend your disbelief.
No, that's right. It's reversed.
And I was like, why don't let's just believe for a little bit? You
did the opposite of what we're supposed to do. That's the point I was making.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I enjoy this so much, is because, when I go there and I sit in my seat and I'm waiting for the show to begin, and it starts, I feel like I'm taken somewhere else. I feel like I've got it's a escape is how I feel when I watch, because I see wrestling, every weekend, every month, for years. But when I go to this, I'm in a different mindset. Why are you shaking your head, bro?
Because everybody's missing the point. You know why everybody is in love with this? You know why Super Wrestlers isn't, if you had to categorize the Chicago indie scene, Super Wrestlers would have to have its own category.
Fair.
The reason is it is all about the characters. When we started loving pro wrestling, it was because of characters. Think about it. Hulk Hogan, that isn't his real freaking name. He's a character. Billy, stop it. Again, we fell in love with characters, and somewhere, and I get it, the business evolves and things happen, but you fell in love with different characters. Think about, look at it this way. Why did The Undertaker last for 30 years? Why? The Undertaker. Yeah, he changed, he morphed, he became a badass, all this, that, and other. But at the end of the day, it was the one character that has survived, right?
Ironically, The Undertaker survived.
What happens at Super Wrestlers? All of these characters, some you like, some you don't like, but they give you, like, dude, everybody there needs a fucking Oscar because they make you believe in their character. It's not the same guy you're gonna see this Saturday at some gym. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's the characters. That is why you can't categorize Super Wrestlers in all these other companies. You can't. Because you've got John Doe versus Doe John. Like it's the same shit every weekend.
John.
Was that televised? I missed that match.
Doe John.
You should have watched it. It was great. But at Super Wrestlers, you've got characters that you might be familiar with because of maybe the first one, and now the second one. Shit, but you don't know if they're going to be on the third one. You don't know, like, you have no idea of what the characters will be. It is a walking, living fucking comic book. And that's what makes Super Wrestlers that important.
Well put. That was absolutely 100%.
Thanks. I'm sold. I'm going to go to the next one.
Yeah, you should go to the next one. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good stuff. So now we wait. We wait through September. We wait through October. We wait through November. But then in December, we get the next installment.
There will be things along the way that to tide us all over and get us to build us toward December 10th. So, I mean, yes, there isn't a live show until Sunday, December 10th, but there will be Super Wrestlers activity for sure.
And that's pretty cool because I think that, it enhances the experience because, the vignettes and the activities that happen from now until then, are just going to whet the appetite and make you want to go even more to see, well, what's going to happen here? Who shot first? I mean, we're going to have all of these things, and it's, maybe we'll get a little bit more insight into the state of emergency in Cross Sternia, or
Right.
maybe we'll get blood drinking tips from a teenage vampire. There are so many things that these guys, these mystical creatures could do. I mean, in the kennel with Business Puppy. I mean, there's that could even be a talk show at some point. But that's the thing about these characters; they're so versatile.
I mean, and again, we added more to the second one. I'm sure we're gonna add more to the third. I mean, look, you didn't see Jabba the Hutt or Admiral Akbar and all these other important characters until Return of the Jedi. So so we still have stuff. We're still stuff. It's a trilogy. This is the first trilogy. I don't know what to say. But yeah, I just
Well, as
stand
long as I mean, I suppose it's possible we could even have an Ewok or two. But that's neither here nor there. This has been your return. I mean, you've been in wrestling for a long time now. You've done it, since way back in the 90s. And you as a character, the character that is Billy Whack, the straw that stirs the drink, as it were. Your character even has evolved, because the Billy Whack that I remember from Blitz and the Billy Whack that I remember from LWF, and now this version of Billy Whack, it's all different. It's like you're the same guy, but your character has evolved significantly. What about your character? How have you made that transition over the years?
I mean, so when I first started in LWF, I was like, it was like straight Mean Gene, like, whoop, the LWF, you've got to be kidding me, come on now, blah blah blah, like straight announcer guy. Oh, gee, I was afraid of, oh, you look out, here he comes. I was afraid of everything and coward, and all this and that. And then I was just like a heel in Blitz, but it was still the same. So I just merged the two. I'm a bit of a game show host, but I've just got a little bit of an edge, and and most people are like, "Oh man, your best gimmick is when it's you, but it's turned up." And I was like, "Fuck that! My best gimmick is me, just me." So like, that is literally me stalking around out there talking. Rah, rah, rah. That's just me, and we just call him Billy Whack on that night. Yeah, so it's like, I guess me as a person seems to work. So I don't know.
Does this mean that you, somewhere in a latent mutant gene, are also a super wrestler?
I mean, we'll find out. I've been sitting next to this thing. Who knows what it's been radiating off? It's
Rachel,
making me really thirsty for Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. I'll tell you.
And there it is. Get your fine Pabst Blue Ribbon. Rachel, you were there. What do you have to ask?
I don't think I can ask anything that hasn't been covered. But not unlike C-Red, but in, I guess, a different perspective than C-Red is I am not a comic book person. Yeah.
Right. Leave.
You can. I'm gonna whisper it. You can claim them. I want them allowed to read them. So,
Okay.
yeah, there was a yeah, I'll get into it outside of this.
Okay.
But would you say it's like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign as well?
What, the show?
Yeah, because that's definitely the vibe. Especially with Ryor.
Well, yeah. I mean, but only because it's like every wrestling company would be a Dungeons and Dragons campaign essentially, if all of their angles were.
I mean, they would if they had more characters and actually put effort in.
Well, what I'm saying, if they had a company-wide
Yeah.
like angle or storyline or something, that would
Yeah.
essentially be like a D&D thing. But yes, that's what this is. Yeah. But we're not rolling any dice or anything. This is what happens live in the ring. Like we can't control that.
Yeah,
Perhaps
no, not even in the dice reference, just in general, like the whole kind of party thing, even if they're fighting each other.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
no, it's enjoyable. It makes my little Dragonlance Dungeons Dragons heart happy to watch it. So
Hey, man, it's all right.
thank you for
So-
creating the highlight of the last 6 months for me.
Ooh, all right. Yeah.
So you didn't read comic books, but you played Dungeons and Dragons?
No, I didn't play Dungeons and Dragons. I read Dragonlance.
No.
My brother played Dungeons and Dragons. My brother has actually been playing Dungeons and Dragons since it started. He's much older than I am, so I grew up with it, kind of in the background. And so it's always kind of been part of my life, and probably why I see things in Dungeons and Dragons rather than comic book.
Okay.
Well,
Keep in mind, I'm currently unmedicated, so I probably am not making a whole lot of sense. My
No,
apologies.
I got
no.
you.
You had
Blame
me at
my doctor.
Dragonlance. When you said Dragonlance, I was like, right on. Dragonlance.
Yes.
Pac-Man, your first show on the Power Hour. Do you have a question for Billy of the Whack?
You know what? I do. So I was a little too young for LWF, but I do remember seeing Billy Whack for the first time at Pro Wrestling Blitz. Was a huge fan of Storytime with Billy Whack. So kind of getting away from Super Wrestlers, like, what was your favorite memory from Pro Wrestling Blitz?
Man, there's a lot of good stuff with Melanie Cruz. Just good, like promo yelling at Mr. Riccolo. Yelling at Mr. Riccolo was one of my favorite things at Pro Wrestling Blitz. A lot of things, like
yelling at Mr.
actually.
Riccolo.
Everything I was doing at the time, I really enjoyed. I was having a good time at Pro Wrestling Blitz. There was no complaints, except like it just ended really weird and abruptly. But that wasn't me. But that's my big complaint, is that it ended like that. But no, I was very happy. Everything that was going on, I loved. To the point where not one damn thing like particularly sticks out. Those WrestleFests were great. Like 1,000+ people there, like those were good. Probably like a WrestleFest or something. Like I was always just like moving around and like working and doing computer stuff back there, doing the videos. So like let's just say WrestleFest, one of them.
WrestleFest 6 was a spectacle to behold. That was more people than I'd ever seen at an indie show. And the star power was unbelievable, from the Dudleys and the tables breaking to the ladder match to the NWO. It just, at every moment, something gigantic was happening for almost 4 straight hours. Unlike anything I've ever seen.
I met DDP at that show. That was definitely probably my favorite interaction with the wrestler. Such a nice guy.
I think it went 4 hours because of Bischoff, Hall, and Nash, because they were out there forever and a day. Right. I don't think they spent that much time in front of the camera in some nights at WCW as they did at WrestleFest 6.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit, Jimmy Rockwell was the hot potato champion in Blitz for a time. Excuse me. And he wrestled X-Pac. So X-Pac wrestled to stay away from the hot potato belt. It has lineage. Ted DiBiase came out with his $1 million belt one time, and the hot potato belt was in the ring. And I remember he's like, "Get that piece of crap out of here." He was yelling at the hot. So DiBiase hated the hot potato belt, and X-Pac was trying to not get it. So the belt, that belt has a lot of lineage with like superstars and stuff like that, which is kind of funny now that I think about it. So like I like that stuff too. I tried to the worst thing I had ever done. I had the hot potato belt and I tried to pin Al Snow for it. It was terrible. It was a bad idea. So that happened too. The hot potato stuff was always pretty fun in Pro Wrestling Blitz. Now that I'm thinking about it.
What made you reintroduce the hot potato belt? I mean, that's a hell of an idea, but I mean, how did it all of a sudden, here it is after all this time, boom, it's right in your face.
Because we did it in LWF, and that was one thing. We did it in Blitz, and it was great there. But are you kidding? This situation is tailor-made for that belt. I think the super wrestlers and that belt or that type of thing go hand in hand.
And the recipient of the hot potato belt, I think, helped a lot, because Pubic Moose is just a gem, and the way he responded to acquiring said hot potato belt is one of the memories I take away from that. It's one of the coolest things I saw. He was so despondent. It was really, and now he's going to be obsessed with getting rid of it.
Yeah, I mean, it defines him as the worst super wrestler. Statistically, he lost his first match in like whatever the time was. It was like a few minutes. He lost this one again in like a short time. He's the worst. He gets it. So yeah, he can be as mad as he wants, but he's just got to beat somebody then. Beat somebody. Just one person. That's all you got to do.
The Concord Music Hall, especially the live band playing this time, was such an eclectic thing, and the smoke and the lights, the production staff at that place and the Super Wrestler production staff has to be given applause for the way they present the product.
Oh God,
absolutely! I mean, it is absolutely just a delight to watch it because it's so professionally done and it looks so great, right down to everything that's happening on the Jumbotron. And I've worked places that have gone to great lengths to have good technology and be able to use a screen and put videos up and have smoke and all the things. But I've never seen it done, on this scale, that it makes it look like it's something that you would see on TV on like a Monday night. It's that professional.
The Concord crew is literally the greatest crew. And I know I say that. I know those people very well. Doors always open on time at the Concord Music Hall. Like, so yeah, as much as you see going on in the ring and the presentation of us, the flip side is the production, which is for what we do, for what we need to do there. And again, a lot of these gentlemen don't come from a wrestling background, so for them to help out and for it to be presented the way they do, like they get it. I think it's the greatest thing ever. And I don't think we can do it anywhere else. I think the Super Wrestlers is synonymous with the Concord Music Hall, and that's just the way it's got to be.
So I'm curious, the Concord Music Hall higher ups, do they love the product? Are they as excited about it as you guys are putting the product out?
I hope so. I hope they're watching and they're like, oh shit, we should probably get a hold of Billy Wack and let him know that we're happy.
Yeah, that's what I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I think we're moving in the right direction.
I just don't know what else they'd put on there on a Sunday night that would rival the amount of chaos and kinetic energy that's happening.
Guar.
No,
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, no. I mean, it's the Super Wrestlers or bust. That's it.
Absolutely. So now that you've got 2 shows under your belt, I mean, I know you probably don't have much to say about what's coming in December, but are you already thinking about it?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll say this. Let me say this. Putting together this show was like a bit of a stressor because we had the first show done for like years. We had the idea for the first show for years, and we did it, and they're like, you have the green light to go again and do another one. And it was like, oh shit, because we've been sitting on the first one for so long. And then Catalyst Tambor just kept sending us emails and everything seemed to come together. So but it was putting the second show together was like, it was a bit of a challenge because it was like we had to fire up the old gears and like and we can do it. We can still do it. So the third show is just going to be more of the same, but like a little bit elevated. There will be some jaw-dropping moments that you won't believe happened at a goddamn wrestling show. I can say that. That is the only thing I can say. But yeah,
can tell you right now that we are all looking forward to it. And the minute that link comes up to buy those tickets, we'll all be there because we believe this product. We believe in everything about it. We share it. We talk about it. Anytime somebody asks us, well, you were there, what'd you think? I mean, we always talk about it very passionately because, like I said, when something moves you and something satisfies you and makes you happy and makes you want more, you want everybody to see it. The Dancing Druids, you want everybody to see it. Business Puppy peeing on his opponent, now he's got a dog pound. I mean,
The dog pound.
There was a whole family. I think that might be his whole family that was there. It's just things that you see at Super Wrestlers you don't see anywhere else. And I can't wait to see what happens in December, because now I'm all in. I mean, Luke just got his hand lopped off. Han Solo has been taken away. We're all sitting here going, what happens next? That's where we're at. Strikes Back did exactly what it was supposed to do. It made us go, when do we get to see what happens next? And, you know, if that's where you were going with it, you hit a freaking home run, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. And hey, I'd like to send a shout out to Caveat Empire, which is the band, which is actually Alex, our production guy. It's his band, Caveat Empire. There's him and Jason. Alex and Jason were up there, and they did the Super Wrestlers theme, you know, until it got cut off. But then they finished out the night with it. So I would be remiss if I didn't throw out a, you know, Caveat Empire. Check them out, YouTube and like Amazon Music. Say, hey Alexa, play Caveat Empire, and she will. So that is my plug for those fine gentlemen.
The Super Wrestlers theme song is really catchy, and as they were playing Shogun off, it was a really, really fun way to end the show. It was really, really well done. Red, we have had Billy Wack for an hour. Time for the roses. This is your third time with the roses, so don't be fucking redundant.
Really?
You're putting him on the spot.
Absolutely. He missed last week. He's got to be put on the spot.
I'm not
I
worried.
think that the prize affects Steve because seriously, around every show, he gets this little attitude. Just so we're clear, little attitude.
I'm
You've been spending some one-on-one time with the prize, Steve?
I'm turning into some kind of prize mutant. I don't know what it means.
Right.
I feel a calling. It's like I can't. The morning of the show, I feel like I must make a pilgrimage north. It's weird. It's weird Super Wrestler stuff.
And first of all, me and Billy Wack go back years. And I've said it before again. For me, it was the hotline. Again. So nobody, you know, nobody on here gets the days of the hotlines.
And wait, we gotta explain to Rachel. That was when there was telephones, like landline telephones, and you would call a number, and there'd be like
I'm not that young. I am much younger than all of you, but I'm not that young.
I'm the youngest in the call, just saying.
And I read the mighty LWF, so I know all about the chat line.
Okay, all right. But it was a wild time. It wasn't like this. Can you imagine this shit? Well, hold up. See, Red. Remember, you imagine if instead of hotlines, it was like face-to-face shit talking, like, you know, face-to-face, but like it was this shit talking. You know,
or like the old school party lines.
That would have been insane.
Like, you know, Brian Jenner, you useless asshole. We're coming for you on August 39th. We'll see you in Helltown, Nebraska, you loser. You know, like whatever. Yeah, but instead it was just like the phone. It was like a voicemail. You're calling.
That's all it. And I, you know, because I got so curious, I had to find out.
Is that what the C stands for?
So since you asked, the C stands for Chico. So,
what? I didn't want to know. I wanted to keep guessing.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know that.
Well, now
he had some magical power.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. You know, shit.
Yes,
December will be here, and my cape will be thrown down.
You are not retiring. It's not going to happen.
So we go way back. And I've said that before. And it's even hard to call you Billy Wack, because I was just with Jim, and trust me, your name was brought up, but we never called you Billy Wack. We just sat around and told good stories. You know, my best time is when you took over Windy City. You know, Because for us,
Man.
all the guys that had left, like the irony in that of remembering people being fired, going to work for you is like,
Yeah.
oh, now,
Yeah.
but now, okay, Sam, go ahead, do whatever you go do.
Yeah. As much as I was excited about it, I had this feeling that Sam was doing it because I had a feeling there was probably like there's some of the boys were like not happy that I am over there, you know.
It wasn't I can say for me, it wasn't that I wasn't happy. It was just, again, to know that he was anti LWF, and now here you go, and Sam, you're who? You're okay, Sam.
Yeah,
You know, we don't understand this anymore.
right.
But dude, you have always been a freaking genius.
Thanks. Thanks.
When I get to hear our friends talk about you, everybody has such a positive and enthusiastic opinion about you. Never a bad word. And
Unbelievable. Come on. I mean,
and
all right. I mean, yeah. Thanks. This is good to hear. But I think like I don't know. Like I've never really done anybody wrong. And the people that think I have are fucking crazy and they're wrong. I've always been good to everybody. I've always been trying to do really good by everybody.
and you have, dude,
But this is what I'm saying. The people that have these blood grudges against me, you're fucking crazy. I right, everybody's best in whatever. I digress. Anyway, if you know me, you know. Whatever. Moving on.
That's
right.
a real
I'm
thing.
not
Grudges
apologizing
against
or anything.
Billy
I'm just
Whack.
saying, like, you know.
No, it trust me, it's been a real thing. There are people, but again, that's Chicago indie bullshit.
Oh,
And that's if I can just throw roses about you about anything, that's the one thing I would say is that you've never went along with the bullshit. You've always walked to your own beat. And every fucking thing you touch is spun fucking gold.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks.
I love
Knocking on wood.
I love your creative mind and this business, and not just this business, but this fucking world would be better if more people would use their mind. You've ran 2 shows and have brought a new breath of fresh air to a stale ass city. And I'll just call it that. Because again, that's another reason why I'm taking my sabbatical. But there's nothing new. There's nothing fresh.
It's the same pancake.
Right. And now you're making waffles.
I'm just burning the same pancake. Just burning this for 20 years. I've still been at it month after month after month.
Not enough maple syrup in the world to make that pancake taste good at this point.
But you, my friend, are a breath of fresh air. And we needed you. We needed you to come back. You know, it was one of those things where you didn't realize you needed it till it happened. And again, you know I support you guys 100%. And again, I just like being a fan. It's not even where I want to hey Whack, you got a spot? No, I like sitting in the seat and just enjoying. So I can't wait till I see 2, so I can go to 3 and be like, oh shit, all right, here we go, all right. Like, and that is the problem. But I digress. That's something else. This is about you. Again. Dude, don't get me started.
It's not about me.
I
It's
love
about Pabst Blue Ribbon beer.
Drink it for your favorite super wrestler.
I don't have it. But again, you, my friend, are one of the best. You are genuine. Like he said, what you see is what you get. You will forever hold a place in my heart. Again, just for the simple fact, and I've told the story countless times of you inviting me to train at LWF. Just you picked Machine to fucking be in the ring.
Oh, wow.
And
I didn't hear that. I mean, I heard that story, but I didn't know it was Machine.
Yeah.
You
And Machine was in full fucking Machine gear.
Wow, that's not like standard for practices, but like, all right, wow, shit.
I don't even know. It wasn't even a practice. You had told Jim to have me come by whatever day it was. And I agree. And I come, and Machine is in the ring beating the shit out of somebody. And I'm
He
like,
had his mask on.
Yeah, he had to, yeah. And I was like,
oh man.
And I mean, outside looking at the building, like the inside and all the toys and shit, and was like, this is fucking cool. Yes, I want to train. No, I don't want to train here. No, I'm good.
History was made. You went to Windy City.
Yeah, I make that. But again, Machine being one of the great guys that I know and love. But you, even following up with that, with the New Jack show and after the New Jack show, and how you invited a nobody in, to come and hang out with you guys, and it was like, well, shit, I appreciate it. I felt like you kind of opened the door to the business to me to see, hey, this is how we act, outside of performing. And everybody was nice. Nobody was a jag-off. So because you did that, again, hence 20 years later, I'm here. So I love you. I respect you. Hell, and I can't wait for 3 so I can sit there as a fan again and just believe again. I just want to believe in something that as a kid watching, as fucked up as it sounds, watching Skandar Akbar throw fireballs.
Yeah.
And watching some dude with green face paint, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I believed, like, oh shit. I didn't care about the tights. I was looking at face paint, fireballs, and ponytails. Like, what the hell is
right?
It?
Right.
So thank you, man, for bringing that back, because this younger generation, no pun, grandson.
One taking, Grandpa.
They don't understand what character-driven wrestling is about.
I don't get it. I don't understand why nobody like really tries to go all in and do it. And I'm talking to you, random company that's been flipping the pancake forever. Like, why be complacent? Holy shit. Remember when you wanted to do this? Remember when you wanted to just get in a wrestling ring or like meet a wrestler? And now like you're doing it and you've been doing it. And like, what a gift to be able to do it every month, and like you squander it away with like these like this mediocre shit. Are you so bored with it? It was what you wanted. It was all you wanted to do with your life, and now you're doing it, and it's like, well, we got the sponsors and we got the after party, and we're gonna put this guy against this guy, and this guy's getting just move aside, and stop taking up like that piece of the pie of like a fan base. If you don't care, if you're tired of it and you don't want to do it anymore, then just fucking get out. Unless you're like locked into some deal where like you need the revenue from each show to like pay for like, then your heart's not in it anymore. You know what I mean? Like I'm just as hungry as I am about this project I'm doing now. I see in color. And when I watch like other shit on YouTube, I'm like, it's just black and white. Why are they still doing it? Or why don't they just like chase after it a little better? And stuff like that bothers me. It's a fucking gift that we're able to do this, that we're even able to do this. Why not do the best thing you possibly can with it? You know, and don't be lazy. Like it's a gift, man, to be able to do this. I don't know. It makes me angry. It makes me angry enough to be like, this is why we're doing it. To be like, look, this is how you can do it, and it can be better. Just make it fucking better. Always try to evolve. Always try to do something better. So yeah. So if I got to go out there at the beginning and tell people to believe, you know, it's fine. But nobody else is going out there and doing it at their shows because they don't even care. The other promotions have just gotten lazy these days. It's either work rate or like fucking nothing. Some of these companies, I look at them and it looks like I'm looking at the end of a fucking stale ashtray. And I just quit smoking today too. So I'm serious. You're just recycling the same shit month after month. Promoters, think to yourself then, why do I do this anymore? Why do I do this? If I'm not trying to get better, if I'm not trying to build my audience and try to get bigger, then what am I doing? If I just have the same sponsors month after month, here's the after party and here's the this and Stevie's Donuts and like Hank's Cheeseburger, you're like, I don't know. Let me get off my fucking soapbox. I'm a little angry. And I've only had 2 beers. But Christ's sake, just everybody should just
quit smoking. That's why.
I quit smoking, right? That's it. Thank you, C-Red.
Well,
cigarettes. What's up?
I am no good at the flowers, but I would like to offer a corsage or a boutonniere to you and everyone involved in the Super Wrestlers.
Thank you.
And it's gonna get a little serious for a moment, but I don't want anyone to get serious because if you guys get serious, I'm gonna start crying. So don't. The last year has been a bit of a hellscape for me personally with my health. And I had gotten to the point where I was avoiding leaving my house pretty much for anything that I didn't have to do. And Night of the Super Wrestlers, the first one and the second one, are 2 of the only things that I have willingly done in the last year since everything started with my health. And it is just about the only 2 things that shows that I don't regret going to afterwards. And I just like, fuck, I'm crying anyway. I just want to say thank you because it's been really hard. I want to say thank you to you and everybody involved because it's been, even Jordan Cross, you motherfucker. Because it's been really hard and I have never had this hard of a time finding something to keep moving forward for. And just Night of the Super Wrestlers has been, I wasn't kidding, it has been the highlight of the last 6 months for me. So thank you to you and everyone involved. And I'm going to mute myself now so I can cry.
No, thank you. Thank you for saying that. Look, that is the only thing you could hope if you're putting on shows or you're doing anything. And to hear that, like that is the greatest. So thank you, Rachel. Thank you. That's the greatest. That means what we're doing is it got to somebody. Like it's the greatest. Thank you. Thank you.
We all saw a swashbuckling package stealer be electrocuted by a referee robot.
Yeah.
That is why Super Wrestlers is so special. You see things you've never seen before. You see characters you've never seen before. You have fun like you haven't had at wrestling in years. And that is the essence of why this promotion will be endless if it stays the way it is right now, because we need it. And you're flipping the pancake is absolutely why we need this. It's an alternative to everything else. And it is a beautiful experience. And, we all gather there in fellowship to watch the amazing stories. And for being a storyteller, Mr. Wackett, it's a privilege to watch your mind work in April and then again in August. And we'll look forward to December. And we also appreciate you taking time out of your life to come in on this show and talk about the Super Wrestlers with us. It's fun to talk with you about what you do, what you've done, and what you will do. And we love having you on, and you have to know that we're all fans, and we appreciate you coming in and talking with us when you don't have to.
I appreciate it. It's a chance to have a few beers and talk about pancakes. So
and that's all that it is. That's all this show's about. So we have kept Billy now for about an hour and 40 minutes. So you got some bonus power hour with Mr. Wack tonight. So we're going to let him go. And I don't know what you're going to do with the prize, but just be careful because in December, all bets are off.
That is true. You have no idea what's going to happen in December.
Billy, thank you so much for taking time out. We're going to let you go. You may power down and
I might have made some enemies tonight. Now I'm excited.
You're a marked man, but you know what? You've got a robot referee to protect you, so I think you'll come around that.
Right.
Thank you. We look forward to. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to talk to you again as we get closer to the next installment. You're always welcome on this show, and we'll get you a jacket as soon as we can.
Thank you very much.
Good night, Billy Wack. Thank you so much, and have a great evening, sir.
Good night, Billy. Thank you.
Good night, Billy.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh my God. I can't get out of here because my mouse went nuts.
Billy might be with us a little longer.
There's my big eggs. All right. See you guys.
Good night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the one, the only Billy Wack. Beautiful roses, beautiful corsages, excellent pictures, and excellent question for you, Mr. Pac-Man. We appreciate it. Guys, that was great, right? We it doesn't get any better than that, doesn't it?
Not at all. Not at all. I had a great time there on Sunday, and I just loved all the stories and all the characters. So getting to hear from the man himself on my first show, I have been so excited for this all day. But yeah, no, I had a blast with you guys.
Hopefully it lived up to the standards of the JFW podcast, since I know we're not quite as tech savvy as one Travis T is, but we're happy to have you on board in whatever capacity we figure out for you.
Happy to be of service in any way I can.
But we're not done. Oh no, we're done with our guests, but we've got some issues to discuss. But we're going to keep it brief tonight because I've got other things that have to be done. You were at IPW, Mr. Pac-Man, and C-Red was not. C-Red, you missed quite a bit of stuff.
You missed shenanigans, Grandpa Red.
Well, I wonder why I missed shenanigans.
Do you know what that bastard Damian Saint did to me?
Made you sit next to the workhorses?
Not only that, but they attacked me and beat me down at the end just because I spit beer on them.
Well,
just because you spit beer on them?
Well, it was a situation where Damian Saint made them my babysitters. So when the crew of Russell and Mike from State Farm and the Bro Hose and all those guys attacked Jay Thunder after the match, they literally restrained me in my seat so I couldn't go help Jay Thunder. And then they told me to cool it. They bought me a beer, and at the end of the show, I turned on them with my beer and I spit it all over them, a la the Great Muta.
Should have done the Great Kabuki.
Well, there's not that much I could do. I did the best I could. But anyway, IPW, another great show. It was a great Pac-Man. You went to IPW and you saw some cool shit there, right?
I definitely did. Yeah.
So, and then you went to Super Wrestlers and saw more cool shit.
It was a wrestling
Sunday not the best. Was it not the best wrestling day of your life?
Yep. I would say so. Never been to two shows in one day, so had a blast at both.
Now you know how we feel.
Yep. Me and Josh were talking about that on the ride home.
Yeah, IPW was great. The main event between Kid Lat and Damian Gray was excellent. Red, I feel like you're going to have a showdown with Damian Gray, and it's going to be soon. Are you ready for that?
Whatever happens, man.
I mean, logically, in terms of logical progression, I would imagine that in September you would get your Dance with Destiny at IPW. Do you have one more championship run in you?
Hell no.
But you're going to be there, right?
We'll see.
Please be there. Please.
Why?
Don't make me beg now. Don't make me beg. And there's a great photo of
I've been on sabbatical, and it is open. I told you this before we went on there. Just opened my eyes to possibilities and things, and you see life in a different perspective. And I'm just gonna be honest, and this has really nothing to do with IPW. Just let's be honest, we lost Terry Funk, and then the next day we lost Bray Wyatt. And it has made me realize more than ever, life is too short, man. So if I can start spending time with people I love, and not saying I don't love you guys, because I do, but there's so much more in this world. And for 20 years, wrestling has, and I'm not gonna say it took up my life, because wrestling saved my life, and I will always say that. But you know, as I was taught, life is uncertain, but death is for sure. And we don't know when. I don't want to have any regrets. Any. So the past 5 weeks I've been off. It's going into 6, and I have no issues. Will I be at IPW if my schedule permits it? Sure. If my health permits it, sure. But again, life is too short, man. And I'm just, right now, I'm enjoying my life. So, and again,
that's all we really want for you, Red, is for you to enjoy your life and be well. I think that's what we want for each other and for everybody around us. That's what we want. Oh, and by the way, little medical update, not a torn rotator cuff for my son, a muscle spasm in his back is what it looks like. So it's treatable, probably no surgery. So,
and thank God for you and your
Thank
checkbook.
I am incredibly relieved. This afternoon has been absolutely ridiculous, and I have been so anxiety ridden over this. I am very thankful that it looks much less worse than it was, because that little kid works his ass off, and for him to have to go through something like that, I wish I could have ripped my own arm off than have him have to deal with it. So I feel pretty blessed right now. I'm very, very thankful. So thanks for hanging with me in a very precarious period of time. I was not myself this evening. So thank you so much for hanging with me on that one.
I mean, that's okay to never be yourself. So you don't have to say, or not be yourself. So you don't have to say thank you, because it's okay.
That's fair. And I appreciate that. What is that picture down there? That's Rion and the men.
That's the liaison and Kid Lat.
I see Quinn,
Damian Gray.
I see Gray.
That
Christian. I think I see Christian there.
Nah,
That's not Christian standing next to Quinn?
I'm too blind. I'm not even gonna
Yeah,
try.
that's not
I'm having
even
a hard
Quinn.
time.
That's
Mine is
Corey Russell. I can't make out the person next to Russell.
Oh, is that Russell, not Quinn? Yeah, that's Russell.
Yeah, that's Russell.
My eyes really suck. Okay, let's move on. So those guys, there's trouble coming for them. They between the workhorses, and I don't even know what the fuck the name of this faction is. It's the best friends or the stupid idiots or the asshats with khakis. I don't know what the hell they are. But I'm there. There are plenty of IPW superstars that feel the way I do. Eventually, I shouldn't have a difficulty finding people. There they are. There are those bastards holding me down. And all I wanted to do was help Jay. I would have taken some of that beat down for Jay if I could have, because that dude hurt his arm bad and then had to wrestle in the medallions match with a bad arm. And
Steve.
yes,
Steve,
yes, Father.
all you had to do is just stay put. Just sit down. That was it. You literally didn't have to do anything else. I get it. That's the only thing you had to do was just stay put.
So I think what I'm going to do at the next IPW show is not sit at all and just kind of like a lion roam the perimeter so people can't hold me down and restrain me when justice needs to be distributed.
We don't even know who the host is yet, Steve.
I don't care who the host is. What happened to me at IPW shouldn't have happened. And I feel like our host had a lot to do with that. So I have legitimate heat now with about 8 different people, maybe more. And I'm angry. I'm a little saucy.
Do you have that many fists to throw, Steve?
Maybe not, but you know what? I'm going down swinging anyway. You know what? They got the better of me. They beat me down. They put a hurting on me. I'm battered and bruised. My back is killing me. But you know what? Come the end of September, I'll be right back there. And this time I'll be a little bit better prepared. I was just there to take tickets. I had no idea Damian Saint was going to put the 3 idiots as my police, as my captors. They taped me up. They handcuffed. It was ridiculous. There's a price. There's a price.
But, Steve, I wasn't there, but why are you shocked?
I'm not shocked. And that's the thing, though. But because I went there with the intention of just, enjoying the show. I mean, some of the matches there, Brittany Kay making her debut against Renee Van Peebles. That match was a fucking banger. That was terrific. And, all of it. TW3. Anytime TW3 is in attendance, the 80s baby is one of the best working today. He is smooth as silk. And it was awesome. There were so many reasons to be there to watch great wrestling. I didn't need to be sequestered by the work bitches. But now they've done it. Now they've done it, and they beat me down, and they got it. They got over on me again.
So are you mad at the workhorses or whoever the Russell or J.R. Lindsay's, like who are you mad at exactly?
I'm mad at all of them because I believe they are all one and the same.
Okay, just keeping track.
And I'll tell you what, it seems to me, Mr. Information Liaison, that it's been a minute since the workhorses defended those trio titles. And I bet I could find a couple of boys that would have my back enough to take those straps off those bitches. So, I don't know if anybody else is in the building that doesn't like workhorses like I do. Hey, hit me up. Got nothing but time. Red, you missed something spectacular to start the show off. Joey Dalton came out with a bit of an attitude about not getting a rematch. The lack of respect. Right. And he called for a ref because he wanted a match and he wasn't going to be given a match. And he took liberties on Ref Christian to the point where they it ended up turning into a match between Ref Christian and Joey Dalton. And it was one of the most organic things I've ever seen. And then at the end, as Joey Dalton was taking liberties on Ref Christian, who comes out of nowhere, none other than Sexy Violence himself, Quinn Whittick. And one of the great things that I hope somebody got a shot of photography wise, the double super kick by Christian and Quinn Whittick taking out Joey Dalton. What a moment. Happy Birthday was sung. It was a spectacular opening to a show that happened completely spontaneously and organically. And that is why, Pac-Man, you have picked a great promotion to come to on a Sunday afternoon, because at IPW, absolutely anything can happen, and usually does.
That it does. That it does.
Tell me there weren't 10 or more situations that happened on Sunday that you said, never saw that coming.
Especially like D'Angelo Steele naming his belt Rachel. Didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah, that dude is fucking crazy. He's section fucking 8. He's your kid. He's your kid for real. And he's crazy, which makes me think you gave him the crazy gene. Maybe C stands for crazy. Raising crazy kids.
The apple don't fall far from the tree.
There he is right there. That's C Purple. Crazy Purple. That's what I'm going to call him now.
Chico Purple?
Chico Purple. There he is, getting it all, getting on, taking liberties on TW3. But it was a great show. Despite the bad things that happened to me, it was a really, really festive, and it was a great crowd. Red, we had that place was rocking, and that place was filled. There wasn't a chair to be had.
Well, it's always good, and IPW has been consistently growing and has kept on the up climb. And see, that's the thing of this business again, when just like you can't put super wrestlers in a category, you can't put IPW in a category, in the sense of, as you stated, yeah, the match cards come out. Yeah, all right. But you have no idea how this will play out every month. You don't know. You can't say for certain, you know how, let's be honest, in 2 weeks, or probably next week, knowing you, we'll sit here, and I think it is next week. Next week, we've got the Shelleys.
Kevin, Paul, and Bill and Shelly will be here to talk about Fall Brawl, which is happening a week from Saturday. You are absolutely correct.
And what do you normally do? All right, here's your predictions. Give me your predictions on this match. Give me your predictions on this match. Give me your predictions on that match. You can't do that shit with IPW. I mean, you can try to predict, but 9 times out of 10, you might get one right. Like, shit just, you know what IPW is to me? It's Toy Story. And this is why I say it's Toy Story. Because Toy Story is based, and if I'm the only one that ever thought this, fuck you. I used to, as a kid, I thought when I went to sleep, my toys would get up and move around. I
Now we know
thought
what the C stands for.
I did too. It's okay. I did too.
I thought that they, like, He-Man would get up and walk around the bottom of the room, and he would beat up the Green Soldier men and all kind of shit. My head was fucked up. I was the only child. I'm still on child. And I mean that in the sense that I never knew what they would do, because I knew I had put He-Man in the toy chest, but then I wake up the next morning and his ass is by the dresser. Like, who the hell moved He-Man? How the hell did he move? Okay. And IPW, when all the lights come on and it's showtime, you don't know what these damn toys gonna do. We don't know. Hell, we don't know what we gonna do. Shit.
I had
And that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the best word is the spot name. Because shit just happens.
I had one of the greatest it wasn't even a compliment, but it was something that made me feel really satisfied. As I was walking through the bar at one point, a couple of the guys that frequent the hall stopped me and said, "Man, we were afraid you weren't going to get your ass kicked this month." So to me, they're looking forward to this guy getting his ass kicked, and I can't ask for any more than that.
Man, the veterans there, that's the other reason, man. The veterans there are so loving yet hilarious.
Hilarious.
It like you can, to me, and it's great that we've got now this fan base that is on the constant rise. But dude, to me, without them, like it's nothing, because they'll sit up there because they're at. So the last IPW show, and I was sitting there waiting for my hot dog, and they was like, "Red, you ain't gonna get in there and do all of that, is you?" I said, "No, I did my part. I'm done for the night, and now I'm enjoying my dinner."
Yeah.
And they was like, "Oh, okay." And somebody asked while I was sitting over there, I said, "You see the sign? This is the veteran section. See, I can sit over here. I don't have to sit with, I'm a vet. I can sit with the vets." So, and just to hear them talk shit while the wrestling is going on, like, dude, their commentary is what needs to be filmed while the show is going on.
A great idea. I might have to go sit with them the next time that we do. I tape something.
You're not a veteran.
Well, I'll stand. I'll affectionately stand, and I'll do the camera work behind them. They actually told me, they said it wouldn't be Sunday wrestling here at the VFW if you didn't end up face down on the mat. So I'll take that as a win. Any buddy that says that they're looking forward to seeing something you do, it's spun gold, and you just can't put a price tag on it.
Okay.
So IPW will be back in September. Hopefully C-Red will finally get his title shot against Damian Gray. So maybe you can retire as champion.
Hey, we'll see.
Have a retirement ceremony. We'll take the belt away from you as you retire champion, never beaten.
So again, we're not going to use the R word. I'm taking a sabbatical. I'm taking a long sabbatical.
I got you.
I was told by Mr. Rocket not to say retirement. So.
Yes. Yeah, because you did that once before. I love that story. Have Marche tell you that story. We got Marche coming up. As we get a little closer to Red's retirement, we're going to make Marche tell that story. And we're going to watch Red turn really red, because that's a story that Red can't even watch. Red will turn off his camera and go away for that story. But it's so funny when Marche tells it. Another show that happened this past Saturday night, I was up in Wisconsin for Frontline Pro Wrestling, and I got some fun stickers, which is great. We taped a little TV show called Crossfire, and I want to give some roses to Frontline Pro Wrestling because I really enjoy working there. I love all the people that are there. They're really good to me, and it's just fun to be there. Their new show, Crossfire. Ben gets a call from the owner of the Premier Streaming Network, which is the streaming network that Frontline Pro Wrestling is featured on. All of their events, and now this new show, which the episode 1 debuted on Friday. And he got a call from the owner of the network saying, no show has been streamed as much as your show has on its first day. So they had 68 countries, thousands of views of the first episode of Crossfire. So congratulations, Frontline Pro Wrestling. What an achievement. I'm thrilled that I got to be a part of it. And Battle Lines was everything we wanted it to be. It was the combination of Frontline Pro and Battle Tested Pro Wrestling. It was an amazing dual promotion event. You got to see some amazing things. You got to see Hot Rod Daddy Andy and the Ewok team up to take on why are the names?
Adonis
TJ
Allen
Swanson
and
and I'm
TJ
sorry.
Swanson.
I've had a day, Rachel, but thank you for having my back. I appreciate that. And Rachel got some really great shots of the match of Hot Rod Daddy Andy literally throwing Adonis Allen like 12 feet in the air. It was amazing. Every match was really good. The Bro Bros taking on Stryker Industries and Aaron Arsenal and Gavin McCoy. The match between Shaq Jordan versus Ben McCoy for the Battle Tested Championship. I mean, every match was first class. We had Quinn Whittick taking on Jax in the main event. And it was just such a compelling match. And it was all done with charity on its mind, as Frontline does. Frontline is a non-for-profit, and they do things for causes every show. Coming up in September's Night for Tyler, and you can come to that show for free. It's a benefit show. So working at a place that is done for a cause is a remarkable experience, and I just can't say enough good things about Frontline Pro Wrestling. Kid Lat is a absolute celebrity in Wisconsin. He is something else up there, and he and Rockin' Rivera had an absolute banger, which was really good to see. I can't stand Rockin' Rivera. We're gonna have him on the show in a few weeks, and I'll hate on him then, but what a match it was. So the next show is September 30th, Night for Tyler 6. It's the 6th installment in this series. So I will encourage everyone to watch for the flyers on that one and come attend it, because Red's talking about promotions having their own niches, and what Frontline does is special, because it's not all about the wrestling. It's all about the veterans. It's all about the people. That's why they start Frontline Pro Wrestling, to aid veterans. And Red, that is something that obviously you are, and a cause that you most certainly believe in. And that's what Ben McCoy is, a veteran. And all of these veterans, Battle Tested Ben Evenson of Battle Tested Pro Wrestling, they're all veterans. And they're doing this with the best of intentions and the hearts of gold. So support good people and good promotions. There's the graphic for Night for Tyler 6. So be sure to check that out. The JFW podcast this morning, PX, since you're here, I want to at least mention a few things that I heard on that one. There's a Turtle and Warren C. Freiberg are going to rematch at SCW WrestleTopia. And is there a stipulation in place that if Turtle loses, Puny Genitals get a shot for 5 minutes at Travis in that ring? Did I hear that correctly?
That is correct. That was actually set up on the live stream on Sunday, where Travis pretty much said that he was going to give Nubby another shot at the title, but Freiberg really wasn't happy about that, and he wanted that stipulation added.
That's pretty impressive, as Travis, it's been many moons since he got in a wrestling ring, and I heard him in very Travis fashion saying, I got to get back in the ring and see what I can remember. It's a dangerous place.
Mm-hmm.
SCW WrestleTopia coming up in September. The Shot to the Top ladder match. I heard it was a splendor, a spectacle, as they gear up, and they had invitational matches to get into the Shot to the Top ladder match. Red, one of your guys, won a match on Saturday at Steam Hollow to get in to the Shot to the Top ladder match. And that is the one and only human highlight reel. Say it for us.
Fantastic.
No, you got to say it like you said it at DWA.
I don't have the voice today. I don't want to scare Mama Red.
From what I saw, even though there was no band at Steam Hollow, it was quite a turnout for Southland Championship Wrestling at their first bandless event at the brewery. So that that is a great sign that the brewery loves wrestling every bit as much as they love rock and roll. So maybe that's an alternative to Shabant's from time to time, is to just do wrestling shows at the brewery and let the wrestling be the main attraction. There it is. There's Acid. He appeared live all right and got himself a ticket to the Shot to the Top ladder match.
But what else happened?
Aaron Xavier retained his title, and our guest last week, Shauna Reed, won the #1 contenders match. So she will be back in August to get a shot at the champ. And that, of course, is Renee Van Peebles.
And speaking of champs, somebody else.
Are you speaking of the Genesis title?
Yeah, the Genesis title. It seems familiar. It seems so.
Are you talking about Miles Mercer?
Familiar.
So that means right now at SCW, Miles Mercer is your Genesis champion after beating Benny Vargas, and Renee Van Peebles is your reigning defending women's champion. So that means of all the belts at SCW, the ARC has staked a claim. Does that mean C Red returns to WrestleTopia?
We'll see. I told you I'm enjoying this battle.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So we talked about SCW, talked about Frontline, we talked about IPW, we led with Super Wrestlers. Next week, it's Labor Day, so we hope you all have a lovely holiday weekend. Join us next Tuesday night as it's the final stop on the road to Rocket Pro Wrestling Fall Brawl, as we welcome Kevin Palmer, Bill Shelley, and my broadcast commentary partner and my tag team partner, the fire-blooded Italian Shelley.
The VHS.
They will be on the program, and we will talk a little bit about what is coming at Fall Brawl, as Joey Roth apparently is planning on making a return. We'll talk a little bit about Fan Access and JFW and the LIM, what they're doing at Fan Access and what Power Hour is doing at Fan Access. So Rocket Pro Wrestling, it's going to be an all-day event.
And don't forget the awards.
And we got the Nova Awards.
That's what I'm honestly looking forward to.
Wait, what day is this?
This is
September 9th.
Okay, I thought you were saying it was this weekend, and I was like, I was not planning on leaving my home this weekend, so I was not going to be there.
So it's very exciting. Fan Access goes from 2 to 4 p.m. The Nova Awards will be there. JFW will be live streaming. The LIM will be there doing LIM things. We will do an episode of the Power Hour, kind of like we did the last Fan Access. So from 2 to 4, there will be lots of exciting things to do. Rub elbows with the superstars. And then at 4 o'clock, doors open. 5 o'clock start time for Rocket Pro Wrestling's new season, Fall Brawl. Lots of things await happening. It'll be Idoless or Will It? Rumor has it Joey Roth and his band of miscreants are returning to wreak havoc. But there'll be plenty of a welcoming party waiting for them. So that's next week on the Power Hour. So that's it, guys. Anybody got any parting thoughts?
Mr. Arndt, I do have parting thoughts for once.
Well, let's put them up.
It is not about the local indie scene, and maybe I should have cleared with you first. But then again, when do I ever? So this past weekend, amidst everything else that happened, Soraya, who you all may know as Paige, won the women's championship at AEW. And I was genuinely excited for her, but when I started looking at all the posts, all of the comments were about, I'm sure everyone can guess, something that happened many years ago. That does not need to be brought up.
At all.
At all. Especially not when she has accomplished something like this, coming back from being told that she's never going to wrestle again. And I just want to say to these men and the pick-me's out there who are jumping on her for something that she did. And you know what? It doesn't even matter if it's in her youth. It doesn't even matter. She did what she did, and she did it because she wanted to do it, and who gives a shit? Soraya's never going to see what you say about her. I hope to fucking God she doesn't. But all the women in your life are going to. And that, my friends, is why the fuck you're never going to get a date. The end.
Be nice to each other. Be nice to, it's too damn hard to be mean. Just be nice. That's it. Be a human being.
Yep.
Everybody, we all bleed red. We all work hard. We all do our thing. Just be nice.
Thank you for letting me speak my piece.
Rachel, this is every bit of your podcast as is anybody in this room. This is community theater. We're all in this together. It's our podcast, not mine, not Red's, not PX's, even though it's his first night. It's ours. So anytime you had something to say, this is a safe platform for you to say what you want, and we got your back 100%.
Thank you.
Happy Labor Day to all on behalf of the urban sensation that is C Red, on behalf of the real deal, Rion Skills, on behalf of Power Hour's favorite knockout, Rachel, on behalf of our brand new buddy, the Pac-Man, I'm Steve. Have a happy holiday. Have a great weekend. And we will see you next Tuesday night as we get ready for Rocket Pro right here on the Power Hour. Thank you, Billy Wack. You're a beautiful genius. Good night, everybody.